everybody, and welcome to the Vegas tutorial. Sorry, I'm turning American. Part 2. Now today, I'm actually giving you a little bit of a sneak peek. It's not much of a sneak peek, but this currently, what I'm editing currently, is episode 2 of The Stalking Dead. And I've realised I need to put in a muzzle flash. Now this is just a little flashback to the end of episode 1, which is when they go, "Get back!" and shoot. So actually I'm not spoiling anything for you as long as I don't zoom out and show you the rest of the clips. So I'm just currently making a muzzle flash. And I thought, let's see if I can show people the muzzle flash. So I'm going to teach you guys how to make a muzzle flash. Now a muzzle flash is a gunshot. It doesn't happen in real life, but it is picked up by cameras as an actual thing. So I'm going to show you 2 methods of doing a muzzle flash. They're both really, really useful, so don't feel encouraged to do one. Do whichever one suits your preference. So what you want to do is you want to go to Media Generators, Solid Color, and drag in a white. You want to zoom in so far so that you can see these tiny little lines. Now, these are the frames. So if I move to the next frame, it'll go like that. Okay? Now, if I go down, you'll see my gunshot. It's not perfectly lined up at the moment. So we're going to line it up there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move along a frame. We're going to split by pressing S and delete the rest of that clip. So now we just have a tiny little thing like that. Okay? That does sound okay. That does look okay. That sounds okay. It's not quite good. We want 2 frames. We're going to drag in white again. And you'll see why we're doing this in a second. We're going to go down to colour. And we're going to this one, where you can change the transparency. I'm going to move it down a bit, so that you can see the screen a bit more. Not too much, but a bit. So now it'll look a bit more realistic. Oh, shit! Oh, lag. No. Yeah, well, obviously. Well done, Angus. Perfect. Right. There we go. It looks a tiny bit more realistic. However, what we're going to do... Ooh, so many words in, one sort of word. Let's right-click and go Video Event Effects. There we go. We're going to... These are all the effects that Sony Vegas has. We're going to click on Cookie Cutter. Double click, press OK. And I'll drag it down here so that you can see it. Let's drag it across and make it a tiny bit smaller. Right, let's move it over here. And let's move the video preview. Whoa, that's quite big. Remember, I am doing this all live in camera, so that is why you will have to sit through me doing all this stuff. Because there's just not much point in editing it. Okay, so here is one of the effects. I think this is the first effect that I've showed you. This is called the Cookie Cutter. It'll make a shape out of whatever picture you've selected. If you select a picture of your cat, you can make it into a certain shape. It's actually really useful. Sorry, I burped there in my mouth. So we select a circle, that's fine, just leave it as it is. Now down here you'll see size. Now you want to click on this and drag it back until, let's just drag it back to around about there. And you want to move it so that it's where your gun is, so just around Tom's hand, covering his face. Now what we want to do is we want to take this feather tool up here and move it all the way up, quite far. I think we'll move it up until there, yeah. And that's fine, we can exit now. Now, notice it's white. We want to change that. We want to right click on here, and we want to put Edit Generated Media. So we'll drag this down here. Okay, so now we want to go into the colour, and we want to change it a bit. We want to change it to an orangey sort of... an orangey red. Not too much, though. And we do want to change the transparency down a bit. Like thus. There we go. And now what we want to do is we'll drag the video preview back up. We want to take this one and drag it up. Oh, want to right click on this in insert video track. I want to drag this up and put it above. So, oh no, actually, sorry. Do it that. Okay, so we'll see this. Oh, well that worked. Lag, thank you. Now, obviously it's very short, but it does do the effect. That is one way of doing it. That's the cheap way of doing it. You know, it doesn't look that amazing, but it is worth trying. I'm not using that in the actual thing. I'm going to go onto Google. I'm going to search front on muzzle flash. Now we can see lots of options here. Now we want to go for a front on one. I'm going to go for, that's a sort of machine gun sort of one. So I'm going to go for something, you want to look at the resolution as well. You want to find one that's quite good res. So if we keep scrolling down actually, I don't know what I'm going to go for. What's that? 480 by 360. Oh, 1280 by 720. Ah, no, it's a bit big. It looks a bit more like an explosion, doesn't it? I may have to go for something like this, because it is actually reasonably good quality. Let's actually... It's hard to find one. Let's go for this. Let's go for this. Okay, let's just want to save images. When it loads. Oh, when it loads. Make sure you've got permission to use it. If you're using it on a big production that you're making money off of. You don't want to get sued now, do you? Let's just save it as download. Right, so now it should be saved. There we go. Now, the good thing about Vegas is you can, when you're in Chrome, take this, drag it into Vegas, and literally drag it straight onto the timeline, which is really useful. Now, it does look a bit bad. First of all, what we want to do is go one frame, split, one frame, split, and delete the rest. So we got 2 copies of it. Okay, now you might just think, oh, I'll just use one. No, you can't, so don't try it. Now we want to go is Video Event Effects. And we want to select Sony Chroma Key. This is using a green screen sort of thing. So you want to click on color and you want to press that and click on there. Now as you can see, it doesn't look amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to tick show mask only so that it will go white. We want to make sure that the only thing that's white is the muzzle flash itself. So we'll drag it down a bit. Down a bit more. We want some of these bursts. And then we'll do show mask only. There we go, that's actually quite nice. Let's just drag this down a bit more. So we can see a few more of the sprouting sort of wing-like things. Blur them out. We do want to blur it a bit. I want to blur it so it doesn't look too fake. Even though it is fake, you know. That is not the point. And yeah, there we go. We've got something. So now, actually, what we want to do is we want to go to this, press delete, extend this by 1 frame, split it like that, so that they're both, you know, exactly the same keyed. So what we want to do is first one. That's fine. We just need to right click and go to Video Event Pattern Crop. And drag it and oh no, what we want to do is select 16:9 widescreen so that it's in the right aspect ratio. Let's click, zoom out. Ooh, keep going. I think we can move this a bit. Just want to keep moving it until it's in the right sort of position. Now, normally I would do this in After Effects, but simply it's just easier to do it straight in Sony Vegas without having to do anything in external programs. Now, actually, I'm just going to go into the chroma keying. Sorry, I just realised something. Let's just do this duplicating at the end. I'm just going to go into Video Event Effects. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to take the blur down quite a bit. I'll put it up a tiny bit. Put the high threshold up quite high as well. And then keep putting the low threshold up. You just want to adjust it until it looks okay for you. So I'm not sure about that, but you know, this is a finished product, so yeah. Now what you want to do is drag this up one frame, and you want to take white. So we're going back to the old technique, you know. You want to take the white and you want to drag it down very, very low. Around about, let's say about there. Oh, no you don't. Oh, no you don't. I'm very sorry. What you want to do is you want to take, you want to split your clip around about there. You want to sorry, I just paused there. I blacked out. You want to drag it up a bit. Now what you want to do is you want to right click on it, and this is when you need Vegas Pro, okay? You cannot do what I'm about to do in Movie Studio, so please don't attempt it in Movie Studio. You're going to click Mask. This is the fun bit. I'm going to zoom in. We're going to take the Anchor Creation tool, and we're going to, mask around the person who's shooting. Obviously, as you can see, this is a bit better because we're actually using masking and professional tools here. So, we want to keep going. All the way around Tom's jacket. His massive, bulky jacket. And click there. Now we can see it's just Tom. Now we can zoom in and move some of these points. Oh, where are they? Move some of these points, curve them a bit, change it so that it looks realistic. It doesn't really matter, so don't feel put down if it's not great. Now what we want to do is we want to take this clip down here and drag it out. So what we can see is no difference whatsoever. There shouldn't be any noticeable difference in anything. Now, the reason why we did this is because we're going to take this. I'm actually making this up as I go along, so please don't think that I'm actually... Brightness and contrast. There we go. Go into Sony brightness and contrast. Press OK. And hey presto, it's loaded. What you want to do is you want to drag up the brightness a bit. Now, as you can see, only Tom is being affected, because only Tom is selected. This is why we had a mask. Do you get it now? Now what we want to do is we want to take a blur, video event effects, plug and chain. Let's go for Sony. There should be something called defocus. Here we go. Defocus, that's basically blur. I haven't actually used this in ages. Defocus, right. We wanted to defocus this shot. Whoa, okay. That worked. Maybe a bit too well. Obviously, that's not what we want to do properly. It's loading. It is loading, hopefully. If it loads. Please load. I'll kill you. I want to drag it up a tiny bit. It does look a bit rubbish at the moment, so we're going to work on that when it loads. There we go, actually. That's not looking too bad. Let's drag it down to around about the 600 mark. You know, maybe a bit more, depending on your personal preference. What this is going to do is hopefully it's going to make it look really, really cool. Because it's going to... hopefully, if it loads, it's It's going to make the effect that Tom is being lit up by this gun that he's shooting. So I think around the 480 mark is okay. I think we can leave that as that. Right, so now let's have a little playthrough. Oh, lag, thank you very much. Oh, actually, that didn't look too bad. Now what we want to do is we want to drag this out and split it. And, sorry, I just realised something. Great, this is going to be absolutely marvellous. We want to... Yeah, okay, no, it should be okay. Should be okay. We want to go here, and we want to split it again, drag it up, and drag that underneath, so that it all fits nicely. The audio shouldn't be affected. Now I want to go. Now what we want to go. Sorry, I'm really sorry if this isn't making much sense. It's that I can't really explain much of this, but I just wanted to say, maybe Johnny, you know who you are. This is what you call editing, not what you do. Drag clips in and pretend it is editing. You don't need to know who he is. It's just if he's watching. There you go. Right. That seems to failed. I may need to zoom in. Yeah, right. Let's Control Z on the whole thing. Right, okay, that failed. It's been ages since I've used the mask, so please don't judge me on it. I may need to get rid of the whole mask. It's just that I accidentally got it a bit wrong. And you want, on curves, you want to use more mask points, more anchor points, than you do on straights. On straights you could probably get away with 2 depending on how long it is. But on curves you want to start using smaller ones, which is precisely why I've zoomed in. Oh, why did I have to do that? I'm a bit of an idiot. Because it didn't work. And I'm Forrest Gump. Please work. Yes, there we go. It's just to zoom in, you have to go through that stupid thing. I may just pause and come back when I'm done. And I'm back. So I just did the mask. I just did the mask, so if I mute this layer, you can see we've got a good mask and a crap one. Right. We don't need the defocus that much on this, but, we will still need it. Right. So let's go into the video event effects. There we go. That's definitely a word. Defocus. And let's use very small. So we want it even smaller than it was. So we want it around about 40. Maybe a tiny bit more. 140. 140 should be okay, yeah. And now we want brightness and contrast. Event effects. I'm going to start calling it event effects because that's actually quite funny. It amuses me, so if none of you find it funny, I don't really care. It's like X-Bone. I find it funny. Right, let's turn up the brightness just a tiny bit. Let's go about 75. 0.075. No, whoa, that's too high. No, that is too high. Tom looks like a Joanna Page. Yeah, too high. 75 should be okay. Right, so Now, hopefully, something might have worked. So, let's just try. Ooh. Actually, I'm quite excited. That kind of worked. However, what we want to do is we want to fill the frame. So we're going to create another video layer. We want to fill the frame with light, okay? So there we go. Right, let's drag in some more colours. End up with the rainbow. So, what we want to do is we want to... That looks a tiny bit strange. So we're going to swap these two around, because that just looks really weird, like I've disembodied Tom from the whole thing. Yeah. We're going to take the colour and we're going to drag it down. We want it a bit high, we don't want it too high. We just want... yeah. No, we want to put it above the muzzle flash, because I've just realised that looks really, really weird and creepy. We've disembodied the muzzle flash as well. Yeah, that looks fine. And then we'll split it there. So this clip, we're going to turn it up. No, we're going to turn it down a tiny bit. And then back to normal. So, that's why... there we go. Sorry, that's why it was lagging. Well, that worked, didn't it? Let's try it. Okay, well, you can't really see it because of the quality that it has to be at. But, let's go a good half, actually. Yeah, thanks. I just want to say something about The Stalking Dead. The Stalking Dead episode 2 is a lot better in camera work. So please don't think that the episode 1 is a representation of what the whole thing's going to be. Later on, we're going to have some action effects. We're getting some low camera, action cam, shaky cam. We're getting some stabilizers, getting some more gorilla pods. We're going to absolutely kit the whole thing out. And by episode 6, the finale, where everything ends, we are going to have so much action in it, and we're going to have so much cool stuff. We may even have a follow focus, which means you won't have to listen to that horrible sound my lens makes every single time I focus. It is horrible, and no one should have to listen to it on a daily basis. Oh, wait a second. I do. I should hopefully be getting a new lens sometime soon. Sigma Prime lens, which will be really, really fun. But the whole thing's going to be a lot better as we go on. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope that this has been an informative edutainment video. Hopefully, you haven't got too bored, because I do get a bit boring, don't I? So, yeah, message to Johnny. Shut up. And thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.